TIFU by escaping an escape room. A friend of a friend has apparently been into escape rooms for a while now, and finally decided to create his own as a Halloween party experience for his friends. Since I don't know him, and wouldn't realistically be coming to the party, I agreed to take part in a test along with 3 other random folks that had been gathered for the dry run. It ended up being a group of 4 people who totally didn't know each other at all, as opposed to any sort of cohesive group of friends or employees. Our host told us a ton of rules and guidelines. Don't break a thing, no answers are hidden on or in something you have to ruin in order to see it, and so on. He was going to stand inside the room with us, but was to be ignored as if he wasn't there. This was in case we needed any direction or if we started doing something against the rules. He wore a black mask and black clothing. Immediately at the start of the game, everyone got quiet and started looking around slowly. As I mentioned, no one knew each other, and it was really awkward. I didn't want to be the guy who's super excited to lead the group, and I guess they didn't either. The escape room was history themed. Computer printed photos of historical figures and explorers on the walls, a cheap dollar store style globe on an end table, and so on. Lots of books stacked around. The first thing I did was look at the combination lock on the door, which had 4 numbered rollers. I put in the first relevant number I thought of, 1492, the date Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas. Lock opens. Things got 1,000 times more awkward. I apologized and explained the situation to the host, who told me to sit down for the duration, relock the door, and asked the remaining guests to figure out where the combination was hidden. The host was incredibly angry, but only in so much as I could hear it in his voice and see it in how he moved, mainly closing and relocking the door hard. He didn't call me out for doing an obviously brain-dead thing and didn't say anything rude. Soon after, I decided it'd be better if I just left, apologizing again. Doctor, put the first thing that came to mind into a combination lock, ruined an escape room. Edit, was told secondhand that he is mad I tried the lock right away instead of engaging with the puzzles at all. I can see how that can be considered a button-out move, personally, but I appreciate everyone assuring me I didn't F you. I agree with you on principle I suppose, but I also can see how going directly for the lock was rude in a certain light. The escape room was intended to be easier than normal for the guests, the majority of whom haven't done one before. Know if that's legit or an excuse, of course. Thanks for all the positive responses. Can't believe he was mad when you exploited his greatest flaw for his benefit. Last time I went on vacation with my family, we each got to pick an activity to do, and I picked an escape room. No one else in my family had done one before. 15 minutes in, my dad picked the final lock. The hosts were cool about it, though. I'd be peeved if someone I was with picked the lock. I'm here to try to solve themed puzzles, not just watch you pick a 10-cent lock. Sounds like a very useful test run to me. These sorts of things happen all the time with testing where people are stuck in the happy flow, for instance with a mobile app at work where the developers would test the thing for weeks and deem it production worthy, and then the janitor crashes it within 1 minute after letting him try it out for a bit. A QA engineer walks into a bar, orders a beer, orders 0 beers, orders 99,999,999,999 beers, orders a lizard, orders -1 beers, orders a UX. First real customer walks in and asks where the bathroom is. The bar bursts into flames, killing everyone. Isn't this sort of thing what dry runs are supposed to suss out? So I'm a hero. His fault for choosing such a simple solution to his escape room. Exactly. Not your FU at all. He was angry because he was embarrassed. TIFU by falling deeply in love with my own smell. This didn't really happen today, more like over the course of the past 4 years. This is a throwaway because I'm very embarrassed. Sorry about formatting, I'm typing this on mobile. My girlfriend of 3 years passed away in a car accident about 4 years ago. It was a horrible event and I still haven't been able to get back into the game since. I was and still am very much in love with her. Out of the zucchini up. My favorite possession of all time is her pillow. It smells like her, and I usually sleep with it every night. I haven't washed it out of fear of losing the smell. I know, gross, but I don't think straight anymore. I hold it and hug it and it makes me feel warm inside. But this morning when I went for a particularly long morning run, I started smelling the smell really strong. It confused me, but I wasn't going to start complaining. This morning, about 20 minutes ago, I arrived back home and went to change out of my workout clothes, and the smell grew more pungent. This was the moment I realized that after 4 years of sleeping with her pillow, I got it all dirty and smelly, and that was the smell my brain now associates with her. I'm embarrassed and distraught that the smell I thought was hers has transformed into my sleep sweat. TL, Doctor slept with my passed away girlfriend's pillow for 4 years, and have fallen in love with my man's sweat. Edit, I would reply to all of you if I could, but today has been very emotionally taxing. Thanks for all your kind words. I lost the smell of my mother from a piece of her clothing. Time just took it. A year or so after, I was in town and a woman passed me with her perfume on. A flood of emotion and memories came to me. It was beautiful. Hang in there and hopefully you'll find your love again. Your brain will remember her the moment she passes you. No one is ever fully lost. The subconscious makes sure of that. Until then, love yourself. You deserve it. Grieving is not a coconut up. But be strong. Be well. Thank you. I just wish I could get back into the game, but it's too hard. My boyfriend passed away a few months ago and I have a sweater of his I still haven't washed. Gross, I know. It smelled like our bed and I had no idea where the smell came from. After some time, I realized it was the smell of my own lotion. Like how I didn't realize it sooner, considering he used to use my lotion religiously before bed. Now I put my lotion on my hands, rub the excess onto the sweater, and keep it on my bed to sniff whenever I feel sad. I relate to this post a lot more than I'd like to admit. First of all, nothing is weird or wrong about how we grieve. Everybody's process is different and unique and completely valid. I'm guilty of something very similar, albeit also very sad. My dad passed 7 years ago from a drug overdose. Unfortunately, I was the one to find him too. 20 years old. It was the first real death of somebody close to me, and from the second I found him until this very day, I am a different human. When the police and paramedics and other EMS personnel showed up at my house and started to tear everything in my parents' bedroom and bathroom apart in an effort to get to him, I was absolutely stoic, trying to keep the rest of my family calm. In all of the chaos, I noticed that the bandana he had wrapped around his head when he died had fallen off, and I snatched it up and shoved it in my pocket before anybody else could see. I've kept this, yes, unwashed, sue me, bandana in my backpack or purse or luggage every single time I have traveled since then. Nobody else knows I carry it with me. It lost its scent years ago, but I don't care. It's one of the only things I have of his, and something about it being something he wore on the day he left this world makes it too special to shove in a box or up on a wall or make a pillow/blanket incorporating it. It's blue and white, and one day if I ever get married I would like to wrap my bouquet in it or wear it on my own head or something, but for now it's my traveling companion. TL, Doctor, grief is weird by nature. Let it be weird. Those little bombs are all we have left, and ascribing meaning to them allows us to let those we loved so much in life live on through us. Edit, thank you for the gold. My first gold ever smile, you're too kind. This is heartbreaking, I'm so sorry op. TIFU by being accidentally racist. So this happened 2 days ago and I'm still cringing. Recently I've taken an interest in chess and my school runs an after-school chess club for beginners, so I thought I'd go along. So anyway, here I am about to play my first game of chess ever. I sit down at the black pieces and my opponent has the white pieces. I should now mention my opponent was African American. The chess teacher says first rule of chess, whites go first. I think to myself, wow, that's pretty racist, but chess is an old game, so maybe they kept the rule out of tradition. So I grab a pawn and slide it forward, then I look up expecting my opponent to make his move. Instead I'm met with a look of confusion and horror. I begin to hear laughter from the people watching. I then realize my error, you meant the pieces, I murmur. The teacher nods. Now everyone thinks I'm a massive racist. BL, Dr. White's go first in chess refers to the pieces and not the people playing. Similar to this, my uncle's family name is Black and ours is White. It's a large family. One day we were at a large public pool with many kids from both sides. The adults were trying to get the kids out of the pool for pictures. First it was all of them, then the whole family, then they wanted to do just the Black family and then the White family. For context, we're all white, and for that matter the Black family are a bunch of blondes and redheads. Anyways, one of the parents was trying to get the most responsible preteen to go get the other side of the family for pictures. She ran to the pool and screamed, "All the Black kids have to get out of the pool so the white kids can get in." There was no music, but I just imagined a record screech and the whole place stopped and stared at this seemingly horrible little racist girl. Follow that up by my uncle following Black folks who were there around with his ID trying to explain. Hindsight, it was hilarious, but at that moment it felt real wrong. Update: the real point of me sharing the story was to make Op feel better, and I conveniently left that bit out. So, here it goes. To Op: it was a super unfortunate TIFU, but everyone's zucchini up on it and you'll be able to move on. My cousin did. You can. Cheers. My boss's last name is Black. Some guy came in and was talking to my manager and said, "You need to get more of them Black boys in here to work. You won't have to pay them." I basically did shocked Pikachu face and then realized he meant all of the boss's brothers. I have to double check if this was a TIFU or joke post. To Op: lol, I am Black and was crossing the street with a white friend. It was taking a long time for the signal to change even though it was late and there were no cars coming in any direction. I decided we should jaywalk. I started walking and she grabs my arm, pulls me back, and tells me I can't go until the white man says so. She immediately realizes and we both just start busting out laughing. We both knew she meant when the signal changed from the red hand to the white stick figure walking. She was mortified. That was 6 years ago and I still bring it up to embarrass her. You do not know how much I laughed at this.